US President Donald Trump has flagged that Vladimir Putin will seek revenge on Ukraine for its daring drone attack on the Kremlin's military bases after a phone call between the two leaders. Kyiv has released new footage on Sunday's coordinated strikes that took place deep inside Russia. Ukraine claims it damaged or destroyed more than 40 warplanes in an operation more than a year and a half in the making. It targeted Moscow's strategic bombers used to conduct nightly strikes on Ukrainian towns and cities. In a social media post, Mr. Trump says he had a good conversation with the Russian leader, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. He added President Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond to the recent attacks on the airfields. The Russian leader has taken aim at Kyiv, accusing it of trying to disrupt peace negotiations.
In an attempt to intimidate Russia, the Kyiv authorities have resorted to organising terrorist acts and, at the same time, are asking for a suspension of hostilities for 30 or even 60 days. They are asking for a summit meeting. But how can such meetings be held in these conditions? What is there to talk about? Who negotiates with those who rely on terror with terrorists?
The Kremlin presented a memorandum listing its conditions to end the war at a second round of direct talks between Russia and Ukraine in Istanbul. It wants Kyiv to give up territory occupied by Russia during the three-year conflict. The Ukrainian president wants the West to pressure Moscow towards peace through increased sanctions.
The Russians knew that this is an ultimatum, and neither the Ukrainian side nor anyone else will perceive it seriously because it's an ultimatum. This was not a memorandum of understanding. A memorandum is supposed to be agreed upon by two sides and not contain requirements from just one side. That's why one cannot call this document a memorandum. After all, this is an ultimatum from the Russian side addressed to us.
Russia continues to claim successes on the front line as it attempts to create a buffer zone along the Ukrainian border. It says its troops have captured a village in the Sumy region in northeastern Ukraine. In Brussels, representatives from more than 50 countries have met to discuss ways to better support Kyiv. Allies have offered to pay for defence manufacturing by Ukrainian companies in their own countries. They say they will continue to back Ukraine in the drawn-out conflict with Russia.
Russia will fail because brave Ukrainians are defending their country and their freedom, confronting the Russian aggressor with great resolve. And because we are supporting Ukraine in its defense with weapons, ammunition, training, with everything it needs, and for as long as it needs.
America's editor John Lyons joins us now from Washington, D.C. Donald Trump has been speaking with Vladimir Putin. What more can you tell us about this conversation?
Well, Dan, a few hours ago, just from over here in the West Wing, just to the right of the White House, Donald Trump had a conversation with Vladimir Putin. It went for about an hour and 10 minutes. The White House, of course, as does the Kremlin in Moscow, always issues readouts, where in fact Donald Trump's sort of varied that convention. He now just puts it on his internet site, Truth Social. He says it was a good conversation, but there are two really important things that I think the viewers need to know about. The first is on Iran, where Donald Trump, and this is something that the Israelis are absolutely strong on, Donald Trump said to Vladimir Putin, Iran will not be allowed to get a nuclear weapon. It's non-negotiable. Donald Trump says that Vladimir Putin agreed and even offered to be a negotiator, a mediator with Tehran, which is news. And secondly, and ominously for Ukraine, Donald Trump says that Vladimir Putin said to him, we have no choice but to respond to that attack last week by Ukraine. That's the audacious attack which Ukraine had planned for a year or so. They had drones hidden in trucks and they were in different different parts of Russia. And suddenly, when the order was given, the drones came, the ceilings of these trucks parted, and all these drones went and attacked a lot of the Russian aircraft. Vladimir Putin, according to Donald Trump, said, "I have no choice but to respond strongly." And the really significant thing, according to what Donald Trump reported on Truth Social, he put up no resistance to that. Usually a president would say caution, moderation, and, let's try to de-escalate things. There was nothing in that. Essentially, what this means, from what we have, the available evidence, is Donald Trump has given the green light for Vladimir Putin to dramatically escalate the attacks on Ukraine. So I think in coming days, sadly, I think we will see much more ferocious attacks on Kyiv, the capital, and other parts of Ukraine.